Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you are doing well. So this is an updated video on all of the mods I'm using for Fallout 4. So I'm playing on PlayStation 5 and I've recently restarted a new run. As you can see, we've just started building up a sanctuary now. It looks pretty cool. Codsworth's just still hanging out there because I haven't actually taken him off to explore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the mods I'm currently using in this run. I am playing on PlayStation 5, which means I do have the restrictions that would, normally exist on Sony. I'm going to be fairly brief. The reason being is I've tried to record this video a couple of times and I can spend half an hour just going through all the mods, and there's quite a few. So what I'll do in this video is I'm just going to go over the mods in as much brevity as I can, and then with one or two in later videos I might give you a bit more of a deep dive if I feel it's necessary. Because I start recording it and I got to like 29 minutes and I'm like, I am halfway there. So let's just go through it. So just for a bit of context with how and my approach to mods is I'm a big fan of mods which are lore friendly and don't rip me out, kind of like tear me out of the vibe of the game. So I'm not a big fan of any mod which, a great example with Fallout 4 is there are a lot of mods which add tactical or reskinned weapons. Absolutely despise them. Don't keep that shit away from me. All of my mods are fairly lore friendly and building focused with a few quality of life tweaks. For me, mods just tweak the existing game to make it more fun for me as opposed to, just completely redesign it. So what I'll do is I'll scroll through the build menu and then we can I'll give you a description of all of them. I might show one of them, specifically that one off, but I'm just going to go through what my load order. Thank you. That just happens. That just happens. Yeah, it just works. I swear Todd Howard regrets he will regret rather to his deathbed saying it just works. But damn it, Todd, it just works. Yeah, I tried recording this video earlier multiple times and it took like 35 minutes. And I'm like, that's too long. So instead, I'm just gonna, because you guys don't need me to show you everything. Better for me just to describe the mods. I will just show a couple of them very briefly afterwards. I don't have many mods as well, I'll be honest. I have, I think, 34, or it's definitely between 30 and 40. That's it. That's all the mods I currently use. And honestly, it's mostly about building mods, so just go over it. So we've got unlock settlement objects, this one, and I'll show you the menu in a wee sec. This one just adds all the building elements. This is everything you would ever need, rather. And what I like about this mod specifically is it takes the existing build menu and it just adds all the stuff that you should have, Bethesda should have added, but they just, dislike you immensely. There's quite a few add-ons for it. This one, and then these ones here, DLC. The big one to pay attention to is this USO patch here, which fixes the decor to theme section of the USO build menu. For those of you who remember the wild times, which were the next gen update, which just broke so much shit, the menu just kept crashing, so this just fixes the menu. Download this mod, put it right at the bottom of your load order. So, I mean, technically, I think it can just be under the USO mods, but I've just shoved it right at the bottom, and this will just make sure it works really, really grand. The survivalist toolbox is the only paid mod I had. This is also done by the developer of USO, which is Andrew CX, good friend of the channel. And this mod I'm probably going to do a dedicated review of because I quite like it. It adds a lot of quality of life stuff, specifically kind of camping related, so it's quite kind of lore friendly. What I like about this mod is it gives you a couple of tools which you would get in USO, such as the invisible rugs, but without you having to technically download a mod because it's achievement friendly. So it's good if you want to have a few of the perks of, say, USO without having to disable achievements. I also like this mod because I think it's going to be really, really nice for survival runs if you just want to be a little bit slightly forgiving. Because for anyone who's really put some time in a survival run in Fallout 4, it is just fucking brutal, honestly. So I've got a couple of junk wall mods. I'm going to show you, after I've shown you the menu, I will just quickly go through the menu and show you what stuff you get. But junk wall collection and then junk wall Junk wool junk pack? No, it's not. It's called Workshop Junk Wool Pack. These two add just so many junk wools, and they're really, really good for adding a bit of spice to existing walls. I will actually demonstrate because I've done it already on this build. But also it just adds a load of just shenanigans to your building options. A lot of pre-built stuff using cars and debris that allows you to sort of just slap down some like junky bits that you can then add bits to. And it saves you some time, but also just the stuff looks really, really cool. If you're a YouTuber or someone who just doesn't want to build in the fog, only clear weather in the Commonwealth. There's also a DLC version. Glorious, fantastic, amazing. My only issue with this mod is I forget to turn it off, and then I get to like halfway through the game and I'm like, I haven't seen any rain. Yeah. You can also get a version of this mod, I believe, correct if I'm wrong, that actually permanently changes the weather to like rain or stuff. I swear, maybe I'm having a fever dream, but I've swear to seen it. But it's a really good mod. Having grey miserable weather when I was making videos was an absolute nightmare. Workshop player bed, it's a good mod if you want to just place a bed down and have no settlers use it. Transparent, I'm probably not going to use this mod again just because I tend to custom build my beds. So I'll use like a dummy bed, which enables me to put debris and, you know, make them a bit more fancier. This one's pretty good if you just don't want settlers sleeping in bed because admittedly it's a pain in the arse. Workshop turret pack adds a load of defensive options. It just allows you, if you've ever used the turret in the game, you may notice that the level of the turret randomly changes as you place it down. This one enables you to select the value of your turret. So you can have a level 1 turret versus level 7 turret. And you can actually select which one as opposed to just, you know, be like, oh, I'll guess. Honestly, one of my favorite mods. This one just replaces all the pack Brahmin with dogs, because the pack Brahmin are really annoying and I've shot them so many times. They're really noisy and irritating, and dogs are cooler than Brahmin, so great mod. OC Decorator and OC Decorator DLC. Fantastic mods. These, any junk and just misc items of food or anything you pick in the game, you can then place as a static object, which is really, I mean, I use it for decoration all the time. Fantastic mod. I also like the fact this mod requires you to still have the object in your inventory. So like, even though I can, you know, place them in the build menu, I still have to hunt down the object themselves. So if anyone who's watched me stream knows that I spend a lot of time just like scavenging just for decoration. It's grand. Post of the Commonwealth, which apparently I think I have another version of it. So there are 2 posts of the Commonwealth. I'll let you guys figure out which one. No, I'm pretty sure it's this one actually, because it already says the all-in-one version. An all-in-one version. So yeah, post of the Commonwealth. I've probably downloaded the wrong one. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think it might be this one actually. Maybe it might be this one. But basically, this adds a load. Oh no, that's version 7 versus version 6. One of them is the correct one. I have both. They work fine. This adds a load of posters and more decorative elements. This one didn't work for me on my Xbox S, but it might have just been my Xbox S. I'm on PlayStation 5 now and it works fine. What I like about this mod is I used to use it a lot when I used to play on PlayStation 4, and wall decorations specifically are a little bit underrepresented in the game, to say the least. This gives you the ability to decorate the walls a little bit easier. As I said, I will show all this stuff in a sec, but it's really, really good and just a fantastic mod. Posts, supports, and beams. Absolutely essential mod, and I'm not even being obtuse when I say that. I will demonstrate it in my walls. Often you'll build a structure and you will build it and you'll be like, well, that looks a little bit weird. Adding some supports and just beams underneath just really adds the extra structural element and structural depth to it. Really good, fantastic mod. I always have it. It's one of my favorites just because, again, it's just so simple, but it works so well. Scrap that settlement, and also you may notice that it is grayed out. If you watched my last video on glitches, the reason why I disable this mod while I'm building is because it creates collision areas which interfere with a lot of my pillar glitching and rug glitching. This mod specifically is fantastic and enables you to scrap any of the leaves and the debris and the skeleton, all of just the junk that, you know, especially Sanctuary is an absolute mess. Someone needs to get a broom on that. And this mod is fantastic, but you need to disable it when you're using any pillar glitching or anything like that, because it interferes with lots of building elements. Quality of life mod, additional ballistic weave options, just lets you add ballistic weaves to extra things. Custom vanilla assets, which is a mod I need to explore more. I used to use this mod a lot. It's kind of sort of the sister mod to unlock settlement objects. This mod, and I'll show you again in a sec, it adds a load of switches to the main build menu, which just adds just everything. I mean, it's there. There's so much nonsense in this mod, and often stuff that you won't find in unlock settlement objects will be in here. It is, however, quite expansive, which is very grateful that the developer added loads of triggers, because otherwise it just gets so spammy. That's just a fix. Honestly, I have this one installed. I don't know if it actually works or not, but dependency quest fix. I have that one. Gas masks with helmets, because honestly, I got this from my settlers rather, because they look cooler with gas masks and helmets. I think I originally, because a lot of these mods I favorited back in 2017. I'm pretty sure this is one of those mods. And again, I've got that there. This might be, for me, the most important mod in this run. For context, I did a run for nearly 2 years. We've never finished off, but I'm going to finish on the slog. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on this run, where we're building up every single settlement in the Commonwealth, hyper detailed, right? Like really going through it, making them very lore friendly, awesome, really, really cool. The problem is I've only just reached the Institute and I'm level 80. And it's just ruined the entire experience of the game for me in my old run, because I just kept leveling up really fast because it was awful. So what this does is you just get no building XP games. My character has built a really, really chunky wall earlier, still level 2, 3, I think. It's fantastic. So this is, for me, the most important mod that I've downloaded. This was the main mod, honestly, that I started this run for. Saying that, this is really important. This one here just makes Automatron less annoying. It just massively reduces the amount of times that the Rust Devils and the robots spawn. I might also get one that stops them attacking your settlements fully, because they're an absolute fucking pain in the arse. This is a great little mod, actually. More of a quality of life one. All of your provisioners and, your provisioners, your caravans, they walk around with their gun out. And if you combine this with the mod, which is dogs instead of Brahmin, you end up having a dude walking around with his gun out and his wee dog next to him, which is just absolutely magnificent. Free the robots. Mainly, I think it does affect a few other things, but this one just stops Professor Goodfields from disappearing, because he does, in case you didn't know, in Sunshine Tidings Co-op. These 3 mods add a load of decorative bits, which I used to use a lot back in the day, and then they stopped working for me completely on my Xbox version, and I was extremely pleasantly surprised to discover that they actually work on my PlayStation 4 version, and they just add loads of decorative elements, and it's just really cool, and it's, yeah, cool shit. And this is the USO patch. I'm 13 minutes in, and this is why I did it this way, because otherwise it took 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly just show you now my mods, so you can see. Also, check out my wall. I said I was conscious of the time, but I'm not too conscious that I'm not going to show you my cool wall. So this is the pillars I was talking about. Look how cool that wall looks. Oh, so good. Look at this entrance. Oh, but there's loads of junk everywhere. And leaves and shit. It's almost like I've disabled my Scrap That Settlement mod, which is exactly what I've done. But don't worry, kids, because if you re-enable the Scrap That Settlement mod, all of that shit disappears. Look at these walls. Oh, amazing. If this person was streaming, I would watch their streams. That may or may not be moving to Twitch soon, but for now they're on YouTube. So let me just show you. Magnificent. So this is, honestly, I don't know if this one is I think this is the Workshop Junk Walls pack. There's quite a few, but just adds a lot of extra bits. Let me go for the menu for you and give you a wee when the menu loads up. Okay, so a key thing though, I've got loads of mods, right? So Unlock Settlement Objects has its own build menu, which is magnificent, because it means is that everything in USO Integrated is Unlock Settlement Objects, and everything outside of it is just everything else. So for example, like my junk walls I've just mentioned earlier, in the walls fencer section. Good banter, loads of stuff. So much shit here. What I like about this is I tend to, and this is actually a great example over here. Keep scrolling, David, keep scrolling. So I tend to use, I think, yeah, you see that one right there, right? So it's that bit, but then I've added extra bits to it. So it's about like adding a little bit. It's, you know, you've added your smoked paprika to your stew, whatever. Terrible fucking. But the point is, it just adds a little bit of extra spice, yeah. It's your harissa, yeah. And they're really, really good. And there's just so much stuff in here, and I like it. It's also fun to add like a little bit of debris. So, for example, I've used these bits, like these extra ramshackle walls, not for walls, but just because I want to just add like, oh, there's just a load of random junk in the side. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. There's so much stuff there. And then I mentioned the workshop decoration pack. I'm gonna have to see if I can. The menus do like to lag. You see it though? You get shit like this. It just gives you a little bit of extra decorative bits that have been pre-done. So if you just want to quickly just be like, right, I'm just going to add a load of box of stuff. And you've got a box of stuff right there. Look at that. It's very cool. I haven't used these mods. There's some more like elaborate stuff, as you can see. I've not used these mods in years because they didn't work on Xbox. So I'm actually quite excited to use them when I start decorating these places. A big thing for me is I tend to get very exhausted when I'm decorating settlements. I like the building aspect, but I tend to get burned out from decorating bits. So this is going to save me an inordinate amount of time. Look, again, it's like a garage thing, but they've also added all the shenanigans that I need on that already, which is just very, very sweet of them. And it's very, very cool. Honestly, like, I like shit like this. Like, cutlery. Like, these are the ones I use the most. There's another one with a umbrella, which is literally going to be the one I'm going to use the most. Where's the umbrella one? Very important. To the point where I have to dedicate time in this video to find it. I might have missed it, actually. Have I missed it? I might have missed it. I think I've missed it. There it is. No, I wasn't. There we go. Look at this one. That is my favourite one of the entire mod. Anyway, so unlocked. So that was USO, and that's just the various decorative packs I've mentioned. And there's also OC Decorator. OC Decorator is, alongside USO, one of my more highly used mods, which just, again, adds all of the decorative bits in the game. So what it does, though, and the way it works differently from you just randomly placing them, is it makes them static objects. So I have personally found this alarm clock in game, and I'm going to place it down as a static object, and would you know, beautiful. Whereas normally I'd be like, you know, I could just, that didn't work very well, terrible example. There we go. See, non-static objects move around, I can push them around, I can knock things over. I can't do it with that because I've picked the lightest object imaginable, but you get my point, yeah? I can just move these to sort of be like, right, there we go, knocking that over, oops. And the problem is, it's not you that's going to do this, it's your stupid ass settlers, where this thing, that's, you could literally, and we will together, I was about to say I have a grenade, but for a Molotov at it. I just lost my arm. Who needs arms? Arms are for losers anyway. But the point is that's not moving, yeah? Very, very good. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. What else? That's USO. There was custom vanilla assets. I'll quickly show you. So how... see, the workshop decoration pack. They have the acronym at the start. So this just enables you just limit the menus. I'll probably quickly just show you these, actually. See, I've got these green here. If I just randomly... And then custom vanilla assets works the same way. It enables you to turn things off and on again. And this is the way the mod developers have done it. So you turn these off. So if I turn this off, those items will be removed from the menu. CVA has done a different color scheme, but the point is this enables you just turn them off and on again, and then I'm not going to go through it because it will take me, again, we're 19 minutes into the video. It just has so much. I don't want it turned on, which was that one. Water menu, which is probably the worst one I could pick, but like the point is, it just adds all of these menus. It just adds extra bits in here. Yeah, there's just so much extra bits in here, and those things, you just turn them all on and play around with them, and then turn them off as you see fit. Anyway, that is as concise as I could make it without completely leaving nonsense out. I use a lot of building mods, and I use a few quality of life mods, but mostly I keep it quite vanilla because I just want to add more tools for me to use, and that's my biggest focus. If you honestly want to take anything away from this, unlock settlement objects, OC decorator, you can probably just do with those two mods. Scrap that settlement. Actually, no, unlock settlement objects, OC decorator, and scrap that settlement would probably be the three. If I had to put a gun to my head, please don't. Not great. But if you were to do that, because you're a weirdo, those are the three I would pick. Purely because that would enable me to build up everything, I can remove all the nonsense, and I can decorate sufficiently. The others, more quality of life one that just enable me to just add more bits and pieces. I'm already racking my brain to add a few. In Xbox, I had a few lighting mods I'll probably add. I always want more posters, as you can see here, and I probably want a weather mod because personally I like it when the weather's a bit different. But anyway, hope that helps a little bit. I've tried to keep this as concise as possible. Hopefully you get that trying to keep mod videos as concise as you can is easier said than done. As always, follow me on Twitter. Well, not follow me. Don't follow me on Twitter because I don't use Twitter anymore. Follow me on Blue Sky at norespawns. I'm going to be streaming twice a week, except if you're watching this video live, I won't be streaming a week because it's Christmas, in which case I'll be streaming just on Thursday. So I usually stream Thursdays and Sundays, except for holidays and me getting the flu or just getting really drunk. But outside of that, I normally stream twice a week. Go stream again this Sunday, in which case we'll continue on with a bit of Fallout 4. We're building up Sanctuary, which is very, very cool. We did some walls. Good banter. We do like a good wall in this house. As well as on the Thursday streams, we are actually playing a New Vegas run where I'm playing an unarmed build, which is so OP, especially if you sneak all the way to Camp Golf and get a Power Fist at the start of the game, because funnily enough that's kind of overpowered. Also, I'm going to be probably moving the streams to Twitch at some point in the near future, just because they've lowered the requirements for partner and I do want to kind of give it another shot. But until that point, you guys enjoy your holidays. If you are celebrating Christmas, enjoy Christmas. If you're just off at Christmas like me, enjoy the vibes. If you're not off at Christmas, please do as little work as possible. I implore you just to wank around, fall asleep, pretend it's fine, no one will check. And anyone falling between those cracks, I hope you have a good time. And I'll speak to you absolutely lovely about soon. You take care.